أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I hope you can hear me and I hope you can see my screen clearly.
Walaikum Assalam. Yes, Mrs. Shakil, we can hear you and we can see your screen as well.
Jazakumullah. Thank you, ACL. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to jump right into it because we don't have much time, and so I'm going to select students. Meanwhile, everybody else that's on mute and who's not on mute, everybody take your student IDs and make sure you're labeled correctly. You must have the correct room number and ID because it's easier for people to allocate you to classes. Otherwise, you'll be hanging around in the main room. So I am going to also remind you to give your QRS information to your teachers today. That's very important. And I'm going to, without further ado, ask Rai Harris to join me and tell us the, read out the quote at the top of the screen. Assalamu alaikum, Rai Harris.
Walaikum Salam.
How are you, Beta?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. Beta, we are nearly, week 9 is nearly ending. So we can see at the top of the page, it's all about mispronounced letters. And we can catch up on by opening pages of 94, 96 of Talimul-Qur'an. I strongly recommend that you download a copy or buy a copy. So Haris, let's jump into it straight away.
The Holy Quran is our life, our soul, our spirit, and indeed our everything. Every Ahmadi, be they a child, young or old, be the man or woman, should learn the Holy Quran. Hazrat Khalifatul Masih III, Anhu, report Majlis Surah 1965.
Excellent. Okay, let's go on to point 1, 2, and 3, please.
The top of the tongue comes out of the mouth slightly, softly, putting the upper teeth. Air should escape, as in thin.
So here we can see, I say 3, my MCL very kindly reminded us that, look, there's 3 dots here, and we can remember it by saying 3, for 3. So thin is a good word to remember for that. Okay, let's go to the next one, please, Rai Harris.
Okay, produced from the middle of the throat. Air escapes slightly. It is a sharp release of air. One of the 6 letters of the throat. Ha.
Ha. Ha. Some air should escape. Okay, so this is tha, by the way, just in case I forgot. Tha, and it's ha. Ha. And some air escapes, like rahmatu, right? So you can go to the next one, please, Britta.
The tip of the tongue comes out of the mouth slightly but with vibration. It presses against the edge of the upper front teeth. Slight escape of air, as in this, not a Z sound.
As in ذلك الكتاب, so there. Okay. Okay, and number 4.
Similar to an S sound, but the top of the tongue is raised to the roof of the mouth, which is narrowed, producing a thick and heavy sound, the phlegm.
Yeah, so that's sword. Sword is the phlegm. It's a thick sound. Sword, as in sword or a saw, And so we'll do the last one as well.
Okay, number 5. Quite to Arabic, this sound is produced by touching the base of the molars, which the edge of the tongue, left, right, or both sides, also the phlegm.
Yeah, so dod. So do you want to repeat after me? Tha.
The
Yeah, as in thin or 3.
3 thin.
Yep. Ha. Ha. As Rahman. Ha. some air should escape, like when we blow into a balloon or a whistle. Dhal, as in ذلك الكتاب. Dhal.
ذلك الكتاب.
Sword, as in the English word sword.
صاد.
Yeah, and dod. Dod. As in door. Yeah, as in dawn, or the English word dawn or door. Okay, right. Okay, Jazakumullah, Haris, Rai Haris, thank you for joining me. And you said all, you said everything very clearly and nicely. Jazakumullah. Thank you for your participation. I will ask another student to join me. So if you've got your hands up, that means you're ready to read out some of these points. Mariam, assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, Mariam beta.
Assalamu alaikum.
And how are you today?
Good.
Good. Okay, alhamdulillah, that's great. So can I ask you would you be able to read out this quote for me?
Okay.
Oh, that's
The Holy Quran is our life, our soul, our spirit, and indeed our everything. Every Ahmadi, be they a child, young or old, be they a man or a woman, it should learn the Holy Quran.
lovely. And can I ask you to read point number 1?
The second section of the tongue after the tip touches the junction with the upper teeth and gums. A raised tongue produces a thick and heavy sound.
So how would we pronounce that? Thor. Can you say Thor?
Or
Lovely. And next one?
the tongue comes out of the mouth slightly with vibration. Tongue is pressed against the edge of the upper front teeth. Air escapes thick sounding the.
Thor. Excellent. And you said all of these sounds so nicely, mashallah. Well done. Thank you for joining me, Mariam. Jazakumullah. And I'll ask you to join me again. And it was lovely hearing your such a nice voice, mashallah. Zoya, assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, Zoya beta.
Assalamualaikum.
How are you, beta?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. Can we quickly jump into 3 and 4, please?
Okay. 3. Softly pronounced from the middle of the throat, a typical letter of Arabic, a letter of the throat.
Ain. Yes,
Ain.
Ain. Very good. Number 4.
Okay. 4. The furthermost part of the tongue touches the opposite portion of the hard palate, blocking the passage of the throat. It is a thick sound. Or.
Cough. Yes, cough.
Cough.
Jazakumullah. Thank you so much, Zoya.
Jazakallah.
Lovely hearing your voice today, and thank you for participating and joining me. Jazakumullah, beta. Okay, so the number 5 is originates from the bottom of the teeth, unlike Ain, which is from the middle, but it is also a letter of the throat, identical to the Alif, and that's Hamza. And it's not the same. Hamza is the same as Alif, but not the same as Ain. Okay, so Do, Ro, Qaf, and Hamza. And I hope you've been all writing out the points that you see on the screen. I hope you have memorized them. It's coming up to time for Tilawah, so I need to remind you that when we must join classes on time at 10 to 6. Our heads should be covered. We should be in full wudu. And we do not eat or drink during classes. We may have a sip of water. You should have your pens and papers with you, or better still, a pen and a notebook, making notes of all the points on the screen. And remember, you have to remember them. You have to keep reading them at home in the evenings. Look at your student handout and read that every single day for 10 minutes. And 10 minutes or 15 minutes of reading Quran, every day, and give your Quran reading practice to your teacher. Do ensure that you don't walk away and leave your laptop or your, whatever device you use. Please do not use phones. I strongly advise you to use a computer, a laptop, or an iPad. You need a larger screen to see these slides. Otherwise, you won't be able to read the text. And some people come to exams and they can't read anything because they're looking at a phone, and they make mistakes then. And so it's better when you come to classes that you have a habit of doing the right thing and opening up a laptop or a computer, okay? Make sure that you are attentive in your classes at all times. You're listening to the teacher, you're listening and making notes and following, in a loud voice. Even if you're on mute, in a loud voice, do your tilawat in a loud voice. And sit in a quiet place. So when we unmute you, we don't want to hear, background noise, disturbs the class. And, really and truly, we can't hear you and you can't hear us. So make sure that you sit in a quiet place. Tell everybody at home, I'm going into my class. Please make sure that you're super quiet. And I would also like to ask all teachers and students to make sure that you've displayed your ID and your room number correctly. Students may type their name out afterwards so the teacher can recognize them, that's fine. But some of you have not labeled themselves correctly. And so I ask you, please, to double check this. And I'm going to now pass you on to my main course leader to start the main lesson. So please be ready for tilawat, and jazakumullah and assalamu alaikum from me.
Okay, we're going to start with tilawat, and I believe we have Jasba Chaudhary from room 10 today. Jasba, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, beta, you recite, and every students at home, you will stay on mute, but you recite after her. Jazakumullah. Start when you're ready, beta.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون والذين يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك وما أنزل من قبلك وبالآخرة هم يوقنون أولئك على هدى من ربهم وأولئك هم المفلحون إن الذين كفروا سواء عليهم أأنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون ختم الله على قلوبهم وعلى سمعهم وعلى أبصارهم غشاوة ولهم عذاب عظيم.
Jazakumullah, mashallah, Jazba, you've done extremely well. Mashallah, you're under 7, aren't you? Under 7 students, mashallah, well done. And Jazakumullah, and we'll hear your lovely voice again at the end of the lesson for the prayer. Okay, let's start today's lesson. So as you know, on Thursdays, I'm just going to share on the screen with you. So on Thursdays, we don't learn any new rule. Okay, so we have a quick recap, so you can make your notes and then we'll do a quick quiz like last Thursday. Okay, so we'll have a quick quiz, we'll have a quick recap first, and then we'll have a quiz. And this way we won't have to unmute you. All of you can take part. All of you can take part. You'll see something on the options on your screen. Okay, so let's see what we've been learning this week. So the topic of this week was similar sounding letters. Let's see. Okay, so there are 3 main things to learn about similar sounding letters. The first thing is, if the PowerPoint will cooperate here, that there are 10 altogether, so you need to memorize them. And we've taught you the articulation point, and that's where the sound is produced. And we also looked at the attributes or the qualities of each letter. That means just tafkhim or tarqiq, okay? Okay, so this week we covered that there are 29 letters of Arabic alphabet. Apart from Hamza and Alif, every letter has its own sound. So there are 28 sounds. However, there are 10 letters with similar sound. So last week I said to you all that when I was young, I only knew 18 sounds because for the 10 sounds, I was just making the same sounds, okay? So it's later on when we learned their makhraj and articulate their quality, I was able to distinguish the sounds. Okay, the following can help us distinguish between the sounds. The first thing is articulation point, also known as makhraj, and that means where the sound is produced. So it could be produced from the throat or mouth. And secondly, the quality of each letter, that means tafkhim or tarqiq. So if you get these 2 things right, you will be able to pronounce all the sounds correctly. So last week we did the attributes of letters. So your homework was to memorize the 7 mufakham letters. So have you done that? We'll find out today. Let's have a quick look at what we mean by tafkhim and tarqiq. If you like to learn more, you can check on page 141 to 142 of the Talimul-Qur'an. So when we talk about the qualities or attributes of Arabic letters, we said there are 2, tafkhim and tarqiq. Tafkhim means thickness or heaviness. Letters with this quality are called mufakham or elevated. And when we pronounce those, we make the R sound. Okay, we make our mouth rounder. We don't let the air out fully. And there are 7 here: kha, sad, dad, ghain, ta, qaf, and dha. You can memorize these in any order that you like. I like to learn in pairs, so I'll put these together. But however you like, however it's easier for you, you need to memorize these 7 letters. That's it. So nice and easy task that was for last week. So what does tarqiq mean? It means thinness and lightness. Letters with this quality are called muraqqaq. So you need to know this terminology: mufakham, muraqqaq, tafkhim, tarqiq. Okay. Letters with this quality are called muraqqaq. They are unelevated. Basically, we smile when we say these letters. I call them smiley letters. So instead of saying ra, we'll say the. Okay, sa, sha, a, fa, ga. That's the difference between the tafkhim and tarqiq. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. So this week we've introduced you to the 10 most mispronounced letters. Here they are, and every day with Mrs. Shakil at 10 to 6, you have learned the technique So she's been telling you how to pronounce these, right? What happens? Does the tongue come out? Have I moved to the next slide? Haven't I? Yeah. Okay. So you have been taught the technique, and you heard the teachers pronounce, and now you're going to practice it. So what I'm going to do today quickly is put fatha on these, and I want you to listen carefully so that you know the difference between the sound of each. My huruf al-halaqi won't be as good because I have sore throat today, but let's give it a go. So note it. So listen carefully, and then you'll know the difference. Tha, sa, ha, ha, za, za, so, sa, do, za, to, ta, zo, za, a, ko, ka, a. Okay, that's the difference. Some of it is due to the articulation point, and some of it is due to their makhrij. So here is a very beautiful slide. It's my favorite for this week. MCL has done a beautiful color coding here. So here are the 10 letters which you need to memorize first. And then all the ones, the quality is here, right here. The green ones are tarqiq or muraqqaq letters, and the red ones written in, they are thick sounding. And here we've given you the similar sounds, how you're going to pronounce them. For example, tha, we've learned the technique, and the tip of the tongue comes out, but the TH sound is as in think. Okay, this one is sharper. So you can go through this and do three things. Firstly, you're going to memorize them. Secondly, you're going to fill in the blanks because that's where you have the technique. And then finally, you're going to practice them, okay? Because with that, knowing is one thing and applying is another, right? Right then, so I hope you've made quick notes of those. So have you memorized the 10 similar sounding letters? Yes or no? If no, that's your homework for this week. And have you memorized the 7 mufakham letters? If the answer is no, then that will be your homework as well. And here we have a beautiful work of our student, Mariam, I believe from room 10. Amazing work. I was so amazed by, look, she's drawn hearts, flowers, star even. Excellent, well done. So if you're making lovely notes, do send them in, or your any work, and we'll try to display it for you. Okay, it's the quiz time. Right, what will happen is I'll ask you questions and you'll get something on your screen. You'll get the options to choose from. So get ready, best of luck. My first question is, how many similar sounding letters are there? 4, 6, or 10? Choose wisely. Okay. Excellent. Okay, so most of you think the answer is 10, C, 10. Excellent, you're right. 70% got that right. Next question. Which is the mufakham letter, mufakham meaning round or full mouth sounding letter, A, B, or C? Ain, ha, or ta? Okay, let's see. Excellent. Most of you said C. Let's see then. It is. So 77 of you got it right. Okay, the entrance is over. Question 3. The difference between swad and seen is that A, swad is a tarqiq letter, or B, swad is a tafkhim letter. So is swad tarqiq or tafkhim letter? Okay, excellent. Most of you are saying that is B, swad is a tafkhim letter. Let's have a look. It is excellent. 83% of you got it right. Question 4. The articulation point of letter ha is A, middle of the throat, or B, tongue. Is it a tongue letter or is it a throat letter? Excellent. Okay, most of you are saying that is A, is the throat letter, middle of the throat. Let's have a look. Oh, I don't think it's coming at the right time. Okay, excellent. 96 of you got it right. Super. Okay, question 5. The letter tha is pronounced with th sound as in thin. Is it true or false? Okay, most of you are saying that it's true. A. Let's have a look. Okay, yeah, excellent. So let's see. 87 of you got it right. Excellent. Okay, question 6. Which letter is identical in sound to another letter but is written differently? Is it A, Hamza, Ha, or Zal? So which letter is identical in sound but is written differently? Okay, majority of you are going with A. Let's find out. Excellent, it is A, so 64 of you got it right. Last question. Which letter has TH sound as in the word this? Is it Dod, Tha, or Zal? A, B, or C? Okay, so you're divided between Tha and Zal. Yeah, 50 and 30%. Okay, let's see what the answer is. Oh, it is C. So as in this, so there's more vibration for this than for Tha. Excellent. Okay, that was it. Jazakumullah, everyone. And now we can go into our breakout rooms.